You should have a little pride in your character.
I think that's what's. I think because I've been seeing those numbers you've been putting up, and I'm like, those look really small. You must have been. You must have been doing that the entire time or
No, I
something.
It
wasn't.
is no, it's smaller. The numbers are smaller on casters because they don't get proficiency.
It's
Right,
probably
but
just your resolution.
it's a 2 versus a 6. I'm used to seeing the 6.
your your resolution. God, Worm, you're off. You got Red Bulls going on over there, bud, or what?
I just had one, so
Oh my
I got to
gosh.
work tomorrow, so I have to be able to sleep tonight.
Yeah, right. All right, so
But
what do
Willie
you
did
guys?
make his character to be a fighting character.
Yeah, a casting character. Yeah. All right, so what say you? I'm gonna give you guys some experience points for the last couple encounters. Let me make sure I have everyone in here.
So I'm a little bit injured. I want to like bind my wounds or whatever it takes to get back some health.
Yeah, same here. I'm bloodied.
We can take a short rest and then you can spend your healing surges as many as you want to get back up to as near full as you feel you need to be.
Well, this is the perfect room for it because I see a little bed. I'm gonna just hop into that bed, sit down on it.
You guys.
It's gonna be full of fleas and other
rats and fleas, yeah, straw. So you guys, I guess you guys click the shut the doors, click them, lock them, and we'll say 5 minutes go by. 5 minutes isn't very long, so all you have to do is go to the main tab of your character sheet, and in the middle, you can just click the upwards box, and it'll add whatever that number is in that box, and you can expend as many as you have, and it says per day, and that's how many you can use. When you use one, it'll say if you have 7, it'll go per day, 6, and then it'll go spent 1, and it'll just keep deducting them and adding them to the spent column.
Oh, so, the little triangle that says apply healing surge. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So like, how much do you heal for, Worm?
7. Underneath it says 7 plus.
So yeah, so you could theoretically spend 3 and overheal to get back to 0, but the way forth is you kind of want to ration yourself if you can.
Okay, so yeah. I'll probably just do 1. Let me look at what my health is real fast.
Probably 2.
Yeah, 2 it looks like.
Yeah, 1 will take you to 12 wounds, 2 will take you to 5 wounds. And then that'll make you have 4 because you already had a couple heals spent on, cast on you. So you still have 5 wounds on you still, and you have 5 healing surges left because you spent 4.
Okay, so that's how it works. That's great. Perfect. That's great.
I proceed to checking this room.
Okay.
Searching under the beds, covers, pillows, walls.
Sure thing.
I'm checking the bodies for gold or fat loots.
Yeah, this L-shaped room basically has the 2 doors that you see, the 2 double doors that you see, the one on the north wall that the 2 sharpshooters came out of, and then there's a double door on the western wall. And pretty much everything around the room is in very horrible shape. Bedroll sacks. There's a roasting sack full of rotten food, and then there is basically where the brazier is. There's like a hole in the room, a hole in the roof that basically is whisking the smoke out of the L-shaped room. Now, as for the other room that you guys had come into, the first room, you had the stairs going down. There was the door to the right that was going east, and you guys noticed that there was fire in this room, and it is if you guys go back and check, it is pretty much everything is receded.
So what is it about these hobgoblins and goblins? What do I know about them? Being an adventurer, do they guard treasure? Are they just like cheapo soldiers for dungeons? What are they?
This is about the goblin. It is basically the goblins of the Red Hand. And about 30 to 40 years ago, the town of Brindle, where you guys came from, was attacked by the Order of the Red Hand, and it was led by a very fierce hobgoblin tribe: bugbears, ogres, hobgoblins, and goblins. Now, as they basically, this Red Hand swept across the entire Vale like a scythe, cutting grass in a field. And the last position in the Vale that needed to be taken over was basically Brindle, the town that you're in. So there was a massive battle. Brindle called to arms, called all the remaining forces throughout the entire Vale. A huge war ensued, and they were actually able to drive the goblins back into the Giant Shield Mountains where you guys are now. That was 40 years ago. Now, during this 40 years, of course, Brindle rebuilt, and in fact, their military forces dwindled down to hardly anything because there's really nothing to fight. I mean, it's a very peaceful place, the Vale. And they have a sort of like a museum set up in Brindle. Well, this first goblin attack that happened 3 days ago now, or 4 days ago, they stole all of the artifacts that were treasures of spoils of war, basically. Old banners, old weapons, relics that the Red Hand cherished. They were on display in this museum. So the goblins, they attacked Brindle, stole all of the artifacts. They even kidnapped 7 people, which are why you guys are here also, to find the 7 people, and the curator of the museum. So you have these artifacts, you have the 7 people you need to find, and you need to take the Red Hand out because you don't want them to get built back up to where they were 40 years ago. Now, obviously, they're in a sort of their beginning stages, and as they attacked, they didn't have a large force to attack with, and they were repelled. But 2 nights later, they came back again, and this is when the party fought them with, the ogre with the cart, with the fire pitches it was throwing out and whatnot. And that's when they found Morik. This was one of the goblin sharpshooters, or the hobgoblin sharpshooters that they captured, and then the town interrogated, and also the party interrogated. And come to find out, the Red Hand, which is run by a new hobgoblin in charge called Sinruth. He's the one now commanding this ragtag Red Hand, Order of the Red Hand. And now, usually the flag, like all of the, plus you've heard through lore and stuff that the flag is different now. The flag used to be a gauntlet, a white gauntlet on a red banner, facing up. Now this new order is a white gauntlet facing down. So they don't know if they've just changed the flag, or these goblins are just too stupid to realize that they put
Have
the
their
banner,
flag upside down.
the symbol, exactly. Basically,
That's awesome.
So yeah.
So I guess we caught these guys red-handed.
You did. That's exactly what you did. So that's pretty much to get you caught up on the lore of why you're here. Now
Perfect.
let me give you guys some experience points.
Just
I'm
played a
gonna
montage in my head.
Nice. Ooh.
Well, unfortunately, guys, I'm gonna have to go. I'm really not feeling well. I've been feeling bad for the last 3 hours. To be honest with you, I've got a real bad sinus thing working on me, so I'm going to go lay down. But sorry about that.
No problem.
I shall take over your character.
That's kind of why I've been really quiet. I just wasn't feeling good right now.
Actually,
can't you just
kinda
throw up and
cranky.
then click? Yeah, that's
yeah,
what it
I
was.
am. When I get sick, I get.
Yeah, you're kind of a little cranky. So
She's
let
sick
me,
all the time.
let me award you guys your experience points. Okay, everybody got to 210 experience points, and I know Vay was wanting to search the bodies. So the bodies that you well,
I'm
first
searching
off,
the room.
No,
Okay,
And
Vayne's
searching the bodies.
okay, Vayne is searching the bodies. Well,
Yeah.
pretty much you didn't find anything, that was out of the ordinary. Just a bunch of flea-ridden, items that the goblins, the hobgoblins used. Now, as for treasure, Vayne, are you looking through all of the both rooms that you guys have basically secured?
Yeah, especially searching all the bodies for gold and gems and magical items and all that sort of lovely stuff.
Okay.
And share
So
it equally.
between the two rooms, you find a little bit of treasure in the entry room. You find a total of 100 silver and 20 gold on those goblins and hobgoblins, and on this next room, this barracks room that you had encountered, you found another 50 gold worth of gems on one of the sharpshooters, and then you found more gold and more silver. So I will go ahead and distribute that to the party. So everybody just got 10 golden gems, and 30 silver pieces. So you guys don't need to add that on there. Now, Pryde, you can go ahead and take off. So thanks for playing, and hope you like 4th edition. It's
I hope you
it's
feel
not
better.
too bad. And I
Yeah.
and I hope you feel better.
All right, thanks.
Maybe don't drink so much vodka next time.
Take a poop. It'll make you feel better. I mean,
Yeah,
seriously.
you just probably need to poop. That's it.
Or puke.
Yeah, or puke. That's good,
No,
good,
it's like
good job,
it's like really bad sinus pressure, like a real bad headache. Can hardly hold my eyes open. So I'm gonna go take some pills.
Crack.
Probably just the weather changes.
Just drill some holes in your skull.
That would work
Yeah, that-
too.
Yeah, fuck
It's
it.
same
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
fuck
Japanning's
it.
a fabulous way to relieve the old pressure in the noggin.
Exactly. Hey guys, have fun. Somebody play the character here so y'all
Yeah.
don't die.
Oh, we will.
First thing
All right.
Pryde's gonna do is commit Harry Carey.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.
Bye bye.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell the tracker you guys had a short rest. So now all of your encounter powers will be back now.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how you 4E, bitches.
So let's go ahead. It's 6:47. I can't believe it's already 6:47. Let's take about a 15-minute break or so. We'll come back. Does anybody got to leave at exactly 8 o'clock?
Or I'll turn into
All
a
right.
pumpkin.
All right, cool. We'll play a little bit after 8. I think I can go till about 9. So, going to be going to I'm going to be going over to Orlando with my son. Our movie starts at 10:15, so
What
it
movie,
gives me
Dave?
an hour and 15. I don't know. My son hasn't told me. He's going to surprise me.
Surprise me.
So yeah, he says there's a movie that he thinks that I'll like, and I said, what is it? And he goes, I'm not going to tell you, but we got to be there at 10:15. I said, okay, no problem. You're the
It
boss.
might be the porn Hunger Games, Dave.
Oh, it better not be nothing with
That's all up for the movie.
You know Dave is a good Christian lad. He doesn't do that sort of thing. Dave's never had
No,
sex.
Yeah.
not in public.
Yeah.
Well,
it
not
was
since the
the
restraining
it was
orders.
the immaculate conception. You know what I mean? I mean that's just the way it went. I just looked at a chick, pointed to her, and says, "You will birth my child," and she became pregnant. That's how it happened.
Wow.
That's how it happened. It's the power of the Lord, man.
Allah be praised.
All right, I'll be back in like about 15 minutes. So
Okie doke.
see you guys. Enjoy your break.
Okay.
Give me a dungeoneering if you
Okay,
want to
I'll-
give me a dungeoneering check.
Oh my God, I do, Dave.
Everyone's
should-
looking up. I look up also.
Dungeoneering should be in 5th edition, but it's not. Yeah, you're able to tell that this is definitely not a dwarvish type of quality for masonry work, and and just any kind of like dungeon. You could tell this is probably made by humans.
And do I know how deep underground we are? Or get a idea just based
Probably
on
about 30 feet, 30, 40 feet.
Okay. So I want everybody to know in the group that, and are we heading? I want to when I look at the door to the left or I look at the door to the north, uh, do I get an indication of which one's going deeper into the dungeon, or are they both about the same level?
You don't see any stairs, so you're
Okay.
not. Now you do know that there's stairs in the other room, in the entryway that you guys came in. There were stairs that were descending down into darkness, so
Okay.
you know that you would be delving deeper into the dungeon. You probably may possibly be going to another, probably another level, maybe.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell these guys, hey, I think looking at all this rotten food, knowing that humans cannot live off of this kind of filth, that should really increase our desire to find this stolen child. So I believe we need to stop searching every room for treasure, and we need to focus our attention to find where this child might be. What do you guys think? Do you think we should go deeper into the dungeon through through the stairs in the other room, or should we continue to look for the child on this level by looking to the west or to the north? How about you, Phael? What do you think?
Is there a ransom on this child?
Well, there's I don't
Is there a
know of any
bounty?
ransom.
No, there's
But
no
there is
bounty.
the
There's no ransom.
there is the
no.
glory of greatness. There is the respect of your kin, and there is the gratefulness of the town, which is worth more than any price that you could put on something like this. But there
That'd
might
be
be
a lot
gold.
of gratefulness.
There might
No.
be gold when we get there.
What you know of the small child, Phael, is it was Mirok told you this information, and Mirok was the
I
well,
wasn't
didn't
there.
tell you. Yeah, didn't tell you. Told Crazy, which then in turn told you. Now Mirok was the goblin that was captured during the second assault of Brindle,
Merrick?
and he was one of the. What's that? Mirok, I think. Merrick, Morik. Sorry, Morik.
More.
He was
Morik.
from Orc.
His wife's name's
So
Mindy.
Morik. Yeah, Morik. Morik. He was one of the archers that was taken prisoner, and he was interrogated by not only the guards of Brindle but also the party. There wasn't really that much headway being made with the interrogation until Seeker kind of stepped in and very diplomatically came to a resolution with Mirok to get the information on the location of Rivenroar ruins, the name of to officially name the leader instead of just going by what the goblins were chanting, which was correct, and also said that during an earlier raid, not on Brindle, but another farmstead, after the family was killed and they were ransacking, he found a small infant human child. And he took this human child back to Rivenroar, and he knew that it would be sacrificed to the undead that actually are in control of this, this complex, this ruins, but the goblins just provide sacrifices for the undead, so the undead just build their numbers and keep building and building and building. So Morik hid the baby, knowing that the baby would be sacrificed, and his wife is the one, which is what Vayne had told you. Her name is Shusham.
And where
she
did they?
has the baby. They hid it in.
Did they say where they
in an
hid it?
altered area? Yes, in an area
Altered
with an
area.
altar.
Well,
Yes,
altar,
with an
not
area
altered.
with an altar.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this
ALTAR.
sounds like the baby might be important to someone for all this trouble, so
Yeah.
perhaps there would be a good ransom or bounty or reward for
And-
rescuing this child.
I was gonna walk back up after looking at the door a moment. I think we should look on this floor. Remember, there's undead and then there's the goblins, but they weren't mixing. They kept separate. We already know for sure that there are goblins on this level. It's probably more likely that it's on this level than on a different level. Perhaps deeper is where the undead are.
Oh, that
Good
was my
point.
thinking as
Good
well.
point, Ty. Good point. So I say if you guys are ready, let's head to the north and see if we can find anywhere where there's an altar.
Lead on, stout human. Dwarf. Whatever you
Dwarf.
All right, I'll check at the doors. I'm just listening. Make sure there's nothing
You don't
on the
hear
other
anything.
side.
Yeah, you don't hear anything behind the door.
All right, I'm pretty sure they weren't trapped because we had some enemies rushing in, so I'm just gonna open the door.
Yeah, these are
Absolutely.
primitive latches. These are really, really, really old latches. Are primitive, so you would actually be able to see the trap,
Okay.
and you don't see any trap on this.
Oh,
So this is,
like,
yeah,
what is that?
yeah. This is basically a long hallway, and you notice right past the door there is a 10 foot into the room, there is a 10 by 10 pit in the floor, and you can also see that there is a passageway that goes west. And what's kind of funny is there's two ropes. Well, a rope and another rope extending further down into the hall that you can tell. There's a rope above this pit. And these are actually and this is also what the goblins look like that you had fought. I mean, they were, pretty ornamented, and they were actually equipped fairly well for goblins.
Boy, they can jump high.
Mm-hmm.
A standing
pit,
jump too.
Yeah, you're over there. You're looking over the pit. It's actually pretty far down. It's a 20-foot deep pit.
Oh wow! What's
it? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Well, the only thing is you're gonna have to pretty much jump and swing on that rope, probably going across the pit, or you can do like if you want to get like a running start, you can give me an athletics check, or if you're just gonna stand there, you can also long jump that way, but the DC would be a little bit higher. So I would recommend getting a running jump, and you can do either an acrobatics check or you can do a strength check just for plain jumping.
I have a 50-foot rope, Phael. It's a silken rope.
There's
give you
a rope
half
already
of it.
hanging above the pit.
What kind of condition is it in?
It's a typical hempen rope. It's not
like rotting
the silk quality.
I'll stick my rapier out
it
to
looks
fish
just
it
like
over to the side.
Just looks like a regular rope.
I'm gonna grab it and just kind of yank on it, put my weight on it a little.
Sure, and it's held up by rings. So there's about 5 or 6 rings that go into the darkness, with your all of your visions and whatnot. Looks like the rings continue down the hall, so it might be anchored on to something. It might not be.
Well, like a dragon's testicles or some such.
Possibly, yeah. But you can see just as your vision starts to blend into the darkness, you can see the rope is kind of anchored on the walls, and then there's another rope in front of another pit down at towards actually about 60 feet away from you.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's. I probably shouldn't use this rope to swing across.
Yeah, there's another pit.
I'm going to take a running jump and backflip, tumbling twice as I go over.
Okay, cool. Give me an acrobatics check.
It's a running jump.
Okay, running jump. Are we all going to do this? Because Crazy, before you go out, maybe it might be smarter for you to carry something that can help hoist everybody else over.
You make it across easily. You do like a
too, so I'm
triple landing.
Same.
I have a rope as well.
All right. So how are you going to jump across there, Vay? Are you going to
running jump?
Okay, yeah, same thing. You do a double backflip. What about you, Seeker? Or
I should. Yeah, I guess I'll do the same, but I guess I'll run along the wall, all Assassin's Creed style.
Nice.
Okay, and Pryde. Pryde says, "You make it across, Seeker, no problem." Pryde, she says, "I'll make it across, everyone. I'm jumping for Sehanine."
Yay!
Yeah.
So somebody get ready to get the rope and get her out of the
swinging on the bosoms of Sehanine.
Mm-hmm.
hanging by the teats of my goddess.
Oh wow! She makes
Nice.
everyone look bad as she scales the wall and then kind of does a monkey bar grab on the rope on the ceiling and kind of pull herself along, and then she does like a spin off one wall off of the other wall and then lands on her feet cat like, and dust comes up as she lands and she says, "Can you guys do that?"
I point to my 28.
Oh, that's not a crit though.
That's true.
So Pryde is across. Are you ready, Pryde? I mean,
I'm just waiting for one of you to get out of the way.
Pryde got out of the way for you.
And I will do the 2 square running start so that
All right.
so it's even easier.
Yeah, you only got to hit a DC 12, so either acrobatics or athletics, whatever
10,
you want.
but sure.
You made it across.
Oh, well done, sir. Well done.
You got a +10. I don't think you had to worry about it.
I know. I literally, with that +10, as long as I don't critically fail,
Right.
I can jump 10. I can long jump 10 feet with this run.
Pretty much. It's pretty nice.
So what's to our west now that we're all in this hallway? Are we able to see through that corridor?
Absolutely. Give me just a second and I'll reveal some of it for you.
I'd like to listen also, Dave. I want to kind of listen for maybe noises or maybe a kid crying or anything like that that might indicate which way to go.
Also, I like the smell.
They've been hiding this kid from all the goblins, so I don't know how much noise will be happening. Who knows?
Let me go ahead and click perception.
Oh, is this door closed?
You see some kind of light coming off of the northern wall as you open up the door.
Is it like a moving light or just a stationary torch on a bracket sort of light?
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of flickering on the wall. You don't see any sconce hanging off of the wall or anything. So it could be another passageway. You're not too sure, but there's definitely a light coming off of the wall.
I want to carefully sneak inside. I don't want to be. I mean, I want to look around, but I don't want to just come clattering in.
I'll wait here this time, Phael. But how are you gonna let us know once it's safe?
I'll stay within visual distance of you guys.
All right, 60 feet. Dark vision.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, so we'll wait here for your gesture to know if it's okay. And I think just to be on the safe side, Dave, I'm gonna pull out my shuriken, so I have 2 weapons ready that are related to range weapons.
All right. Yeah, it looks like there's a sort of like a glowing as you get into the room a little bit more. You can see some red runes starting to intensify in like a glowing that is on the floor.
Oh, it's on the floor, huh?
Yeah.
And it gets more intense as it gets closer.
Correct. Yeah. You can start to see that this light it looks like it's coming from like a picture that's on the wall.
Oh, it's on the wall to the north there?
Yeah.
The door is closed to the west?
The door to the west is closed.
Okay. I want to get close enough I can look to the south just to make sure nothing's coming up that way.
Yeah, you can see that the corridor extends south.
Okay. But I don't see anything currently.
No, you don't see anything.
I know. I understand I can only see so far, but
yeah, you can see 60 feet, which is just right where you can see.
I want to check for any trap before I motion everyone else in. I want to check see if there's any traps around these runes on the floor.
Okay. You look at the light source that is quite apparent on the wall.
All right, don't make to roll anything.
No, I mean, do you look at the? I mean, there's these runes that are on the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the main light source from the light that you saw coming from the wall, that is an image of like a sinister looking castle with thunder and lightning. I mean, lightning bolts crashing everywhere around it. You can't hear this,
Oh wow.
but it's like an animated picture.
So
and-
does it look like it's carved into the stone, or
No,
like
it's actually
drawn on it or whatever?
Yeah, it's
It's a
you know,
GIF.
It's not in a frame. It's not in a physical frame, but it's a frame that's painted on the wall. And within
okay.
this frame that's painted on the wall, you see this very dark, evil, large, sinister castle. You know, several wizard spires jutting up with lights, and the lights are flickering because in one window you can see a castle, and in one of the other windows you can see sort of like the silhouette of maybe a wizard or maybe a prisoner in the tower, and you see that this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I understand. It's Harry Potter. The goblins have got TiVo.
I never saw Harry Potter, so I watched the first one, and that
Well,
was
it looks safe.
So.
I'm going to wave everyone else in.
All right. So as everybody else starts to come in, now this castle's in a swamp, and like I said, there's lots of lightning explosions going on anywhere, and then all of a sudden, as you're looking at this picture, something starts to rise from the base of the picture, and it is a very transparent, light greenish creature. And it looks to be light greenish, but as it gets a little bit closer, you can see that there is a big blob that starts to ooze its way up, the entire portrait itself, and then it just disappears, and you could still see the castle in the background. Now, as everyone gets, as you guys are now entering the room,
Did you see that, Phael? I think I just saw a giant blob of ectoplasm leak out from the picture.
Exactly, and it just, the blob disappears, and then the runes on the ground, they really intensify, and smoke starts to come up from the runes, and all of a sudden you can start to see something solidifying. And as this happens,
can I take a couple steps back since it's happening right in front of us?
Yeah, something's definitely happening in front of us, but no, this basically happens instantly.
Okay, instantly.
Oh, okay.
As the door slams behind you that you just entered, bam, so it slams. And then in this rune, a massive yellow jelly appears. And then you can start to hear howls, and screeches, and these like crazy sounds. Let's go ahead and roll initiative.